Call this meeting to order. Can you hear us? Okay, maybe not. Everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a short prayer.
Short prayer.
Well, you don't make them short, but that's all right.
Make it short. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your blessings. May the strength of God sustain us. May the power of God preserve us. May the hand of God protect us. May the light of God show us the way. May the love of God go with us. In God's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Can we be seated? Okay. Marshall, can we have a roll call?
I no fue Boy Scouts.
Are they gonna mute them? Yes, sir. American Legion Post 59, Mr. Gomez, he sent a text earlier that he wanted to be excused. And, for future meetings, we're gonna have to hold, elections for a secretary. He's been working too many hours, sir, and he says he needs to step away.
Well, if I remember correctly, also, the American Legion has assigned Mr. Agregano to be their representative, the primary representative, is that correct?
So, Mr. Gomez, they give us a name of Montemayor, Cesar Montemayor, as an alternate.
As an alternate?
Yes.
And Mr. Agregano as the primary one. Well, I might be mistaken, but that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Okay, we could go with that.
So, in that case, that business taken care of locally by each organization. So as far as this committee is concerned, Mr. Agregano is a representative for American Legion 59, correct? So he is a voting member as of this time.
Yes, sir.
However, Mr. Gomez was the presiding secretary for this committee. So next meeting, we're gonna have to elect a secretary. So anybody that wishes to run for that position, just be advised that we'll be holding an election next meeting for the secretary post. All right? Thank you. Please continue, Marshall.
Catholic War Veterans. Mr. Segovia, he's at a doctor's appointment right now. He said he'll be getting out around 12, and he's gonna make it over as soon as he gets out of the appointment. Disabled American Veterans.
Present.
Mr. Contreras, present. Korean War Veterans. Mr. Sanchez, present. Black Widows, LTX, Monte, present. LULAC Veterans Council 777.
Present.
Marine Corps League.
Present.
South Texas, Afghanistan, Iraqi Veterans.
Present. Listening.
Valor. VFW.
Present.
Webb County Service Office.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you do have a quorum.
Thank you, Marshall. Next item on the agenda, we have approval of minutes of June 14th, 2022. Do you have any motions?
Sure.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay? Ayes have it. Next item on the agenda, we have a citizen's comment. Mr. Sanchez, you have some words to say?
I can do it from here. I want to thank everybody that helped me with the project at LCC.
For the record, Mr. Sanchez, it will be recorded and everybody can hear it. Yeah, when they air it out on TV. As we all know that these meetings are also carried by cable somewhere.
It worked.
Right here in the center. Yes, sir.
For the record, I'm Ernesto Sanchez from the Korean War Veterans. I want to thank everybody that signed the thing that I had for LCC, and you saw it on the newspaper. They're naming the ceramic room for a Air Force veteran, Mr. Short. He was a beautiful instructor, and I had this in mind for 2 years, but they didn't like the idea. But you all helped me, and I want to thank you. And any one of you that knows any veteran that works at LCC or LC, whatever it is, I would like to name a building or a room for you, or all of us together, because people they serve. There are many rooms and many things there. So that's my project. And there will be many others, but this is my more recent one, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Do we have anybody else that would like to make any comments up to this committee? If not, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Sandwiches are getting cold. Next item on the agenda, we have communication and announcements. Does anybody have any communication announcements? Mr. Cano?
Ms. Belcher, I would like to say something.
Yes.
Just wanted to present an event that I'm having.
Please approach the podium.
I wonder if they could turn that off.
Is this thing?
Knock on
Turn
it.
it off.
And if
Knock on
not,
it.
I can just pass
Just
out.
knock on it.
Okay.
If they're about to turn that on now.
Okay. It's red. Do I press it?
They're working on it back here. It's off right there.
It turned blue now. Go.
Emails right now.
It's barely turning on.
No.
Let me take one back there. Me too.
Yeah, I want to put it here. It's already on.
Is it on?
Now it is. So we see
There
it
we
here.
go.
you see it there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
You got it.
IT.
Ha sido al revés.
Just keep turning it, it's correct.
Like this?
Oh,
There,
there
there
you
you
go.
Another,
One more.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have a question and answers on August 2nd for the healthcare advocacy part of TVC. A lot of people get confused with TVC and they think that I'm part of claims. We have 8 different departments, so I want to go ahead and host this question and answers for all the veterans that may have questions or concerns in the healthcare side of their veterans benefits. So my event's gonna be August 2nd from noon to 2 at the Joe Guerra Public Library. It's gonna be on the 2nd floor at the Auditorium 1. So everyone's invited, and if you could please share to all the veterans in the different committees that are here.
Can you send it to me electronically, please?
I sure can. I think I already did, but I'll do it again via email.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, one other thing, while you're there, Isabel, we were talking a couple of days ago that, obviously it says here that you're gonna be at the library. You're now, can you, for the record, state where you're located and what days and what times?
Yes, sir. When I first came, I was located in the lobby of the VA, and now I'm still located there only in the mornings, and in the afternoons, I am at the Joe Guerra Library on the 2nd floor. I'm at your study room 3. It's the glass study room, and I turned that one into my temporary office for the afternoons, from Monday through Friday, from 7:30 a.m. to noon. I'm at the VA clinic, still in the lobby, and then in the afternoon from 1 to 4:30 in the afternoon, I'm at the Joe Guerra Library. Thanks to you all.
How's that working out, ma'am?
It's actually a lot better. I love
Really?
it. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a stress reliever because it gives me time to work on paperwork and to have a lot of privacy with the veterans that want to discuss more in depth their VA healthcare issues. So it really has worked out Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Isabel. Appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Anybody else with communications? I have, just recently, in the last few days, came across an article that, a veteran has filed a lawsuit on a compensation hearing. And, he has taken it all the way to the Supreme Court. I have limited information on this issue, but I think it's an issue that we all need to know about, whether you're a young or an old warrior. If this case is successful, what I can tell you right now, what it means is that those veterans, those warriors that file a claim will be able to go retroactive to where the incident happened, not when it was filed. And the name of the, is a Navy veteran, Agregano. Maybe he's related to you. But anyway, it is a significant law case, in my opinion. There's some of us that have been fighting for a long time. And right now, the way the policy is that your claim is gonna be, and Mr. Garza, you can relate to this more than I can, it's gonna be from the time that you refile or file. But if this is successful and this veteran wins this case, then that veteran will be able to receive compensation from the time the incident happened that he's reporting for compensation. So it's something that is worthwhile in following, and I don't have any more information as to when the court is gonna hear it, but it is at the Supreme Court level right now. Mr. Garza?
I'd like to see it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I hadn't heard that. I haven't gotten a memo for that yet.
I just got one copy because I just copied it just before I got here.
And let me take, oh, it just came out too. This just happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so about 4 months from now, I'll get the memo.
You can keep that. Anyway, for everybody's information, and pass it on, because it is a worthwhile information, because as probably a lot of us have gone through this, where the policy, the way it is right now, if you wait more than a year after you file an appeal, your case is pretty much gone. But anyway, moving on to the next item on the agenda. Discussion with possible action on allowing the VFW to spearhead the Iraq-Afghanistan monument and any matters incident thereto. Who's gonna address this?
Morning.
Morning.
For the record, my name is Gilberto Gonzalez. I'm the VFW 9194 commander. Ricardo Quijano.
Good morning, my name is Ricardo Quijano for the record.
So we're asking to spearhead the VFW monument for the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. Currently, we don't have one in Laredo. And
Sure.
he's passing out, and we'll show right now what the project, what we have in mind. So this is what we have in mind. There's several ideas. We have the dimensions of the place. Or it can be.
Okay, fellow comrades, so as Commander Gonzalez was saying here, this was brought to the meeting, to a VFW meeting that we had on the 29th. We gave the veterans some ideas, what they wanted. As y'all know, most of the veterans at the VFW majority of them are Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, right? So, was doing some research some months ago and found this one and found, researched this one too. I did send the quotes to Laredo Monument Company. As you know, Laredo Monument Company is the same ones that did the mothers, the Gold Star Mothers and Family. And they did an outstanding job. They did an awesome job, right? It did take quite a bit, but of course, because someone had to come overseas, right? So what we did was that we got the quotes. And just to let you know, the first quote, right, we're looking at more or less like 10,000 ballpark, which is this one. This one's like super huge though, but of course it's gonna be more or less like the Gold Star Mothers, but we could go bigger, all right? We could go bigger, right? And this one is more expensive. The reason it's more expensive, it's laser engraving. That's what's gonna take a lot of money, right? So on this one, what we're talking about is this one's perfect because it's showing the Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom, right? And as you see in the middle, you see the soldiers, one going to the left, one going to the right. That's what we're gonna honor, the three soldiers that sacrificed their lives, right? Which is Espinosa, Rodriguez, and I believe Arezola. Those three are gonna have their names right there. And this is gonna be a dedication to them and to all the veterans who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Since the war's already done, they're finalized, let's erect this monument. And we'd like to have, if the VFW would we're basically gonna spearhead it and getting it done.
The members of this committee have continuously say that this project should be undertaken by the Iraq-Afghanistan warriors. And obviously, I know that you and some other members from this committee and your organization in particular have done a lot of work already, as we can see. So it's just a matter, I think it's beautiful, and I think it hits all the points that you're supposed to hit, but it's not, in my opinion, my call anyway. I think that that decision belongs to the warriors that serve in that epic situation. So what is the cost of this one here?
We're looking at 10,000 more or less.
10,000, and it's gonna be by donations after all? Or, I know we discussed this back and forth a few times.
Well, we discussed this, first I was, the community, but then it became, last meeting that the city was gonna pay for it. So what I wanted to do is go to each city council member, right? So, see what happens. Yes, sir.
I think it was, that they would, then Councilwoman Ms. Perez would
Yes.
bring it up, so it wasn't decided yet, because they have to take it to council, I believe?
Not yet.
No,
The
I know,
next
but they
budget
have
meeting.
to before they can decide that, yes. And if council doesn't take approval of paying for it, we would, the VFW would fundraise to get it, make it happen at that point.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Got a couple questions, if you don't mind me asking you, Mr. Quijano?
Send 'em, sir.
Mr. Gilbert? Obviously, this, there was a bigger monument because they have, 10 warriors that gave the ultimate sacrifice. They paid the ultimate sacrifice. So for us, it's 3. Can they scale it down a little bit? Because it looked kind of, to have just 3 and the size that this monument appears to be might be too big. So they would kind of scale it down and make it,
Yes.
fit its,
It can be customized. as
Yeah, that's-
Whatever we want.
I couldn't figure out the word, that's what it's like.
Yes.
They'll make it fit, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, we could, whether we make changes, we'll take it to the members, of course. The members vote on it, get the input from the members. Of course, the members are gonna vote on it.
Right.
And we'll take it from there, sir. But it definitely, we could customize it to, yes.
Yeah, because there'll be too much for 3 compared to 10. The other question, and it's kind of, just out, I know the answer will probably be yes, but I think, at one point, Mr. Quijano and Mr. Gonzalez, we probably should reach out to just the family and make sure that they're okay that we put their,
Yes, sir.
okay, just out of respect. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna say no, but just
Yes.
out of respect for the families.
Will do, sir.
That was the questions I had. That, perfect. Both monuments are beautiful. So whichever y'all decide to go with would be great.
Yes, I did reach out, and actually, in the Rock March, I did see Ms. Holguin, the mother of David Lee Espinosa, and I gave her kind of like a tease to it. She loved it.
Awesome, man.
She loved it. So, yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments on this issue?
Yes, I'm working on a project of getting the last two Marines promoted from Lance Corporal to Corporal because there are others that were promoted posthumously. So on these, you're going to have those two names, Lance Corporal Rodriguez, Lance Corporal Espinosa. So I'm working on getting them promoted to Corporal.
Okay, okay.
To
We'll
change
get that
the-
finalized. I mean, we'll be glad. It'll be an honor to have it Corporal David Lee Espinosa.
In the Marine Corps, they have a stripe on the dress blue trousers called blood stripe. And that's what I'm aiming at, that they have earned the blood stripe. It's for a corporal and above.
NCO, that's right.
Very good, you all have done great work in the last couple of months or so. But any other questions or comments, we'll put it to a vote. Your presentation is finished?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So you just heard this item, and now we need a vote on whether to allow the VFW to spearhead the Iraq-Afghanistan Monument project and any matters incident there too. So we have a motion
A motion?
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay? The ayes have it. So VFW, you're now in charge of this, but remember that we did spoke, I think Mr. Salazar mentioned that there are going to be some other groups involved in putting some input into all of this that are members of this committee that are not maybe part of the VFW, but they're warriors from that era. Is that correct? Is that what you plan on doing and getting advice from some of the other young warriors?
Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Gonzalez, the commander. Commander Gonzalez.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about the last meeting that,
Oh.
I brought it up here the
last meeting, he brought it up about that, and I just want to know that it's gonna continue that way or not, just for the record. I mean, that's, obviously, it's your call. Very good, so the motion passes. Next item on the agenda, we have a discussion with possible action on allowing,
Not allowed. No.
wait a minute, I'm the wrong one. Discussion and possible action of not having the names of donors on the Iraq-Afghanistan monument at Jarvis Plaza and any matters incident there too. Who's gonna take this item?
That's,
Anybody wants to speak on this item, or any
think
item,
Mr.
you need to come
Lopez.
to the podium so we can have it correct.
He's on the, it's from Gabriel Lopez, he's on Zoom.
Oh, okay, sorry, Mr. Lopez. Go ahead.
So this item, I'm bringing up this item, because I want to make sure that when the monument, if and when the monument comes up, it really doesn't matter which years that it's from, as long as it gets done. But we have to be careful that any government does not have the names on the monument itself. I think we need to do a disservice to the families if we have a monument and they let me know since this monument was donated by the rich man in the lake. And it can be very, very, dissatisfying to see a monument with 3 or 4 names on it for people who donated money. I think we're one example of such things that happen to the radio. We just have to look at the library, the South Library, which has about 5 different names of people who donated money. Now, I don't know if we're going to ask for money, if the city comes up with the money, that would be fine. But if we don't, we have to ask for money from the public. We need to make sure that everyone knows that monument with the names of veterans who one day themselves glorify themselves in that monument, or simply donating $1,000, $500 to whatever the case may be. If anybody wants to give money, then that's fine. If the condition that no name can be on that monument. We want to keep it clean, we want to do respect to honor the fallen awards. And I think the only way we can do that is to keep it clean. And to keep, any name and words down on it. Any commission can consider everyone. That is my take on that.
Anybody else? Yeah. Mr. Gonzalez?
So we had a difficulty listening to Mr. Lopez, but what we could gather is that I agree with him. We will not have any names on on the monument. This monument is for the people that serve in those two missions, operations, and if we put a name for everyone that's serving there, we will not have a monument. So the only names that we're gonna have in there are those that we lost. Those are the only names that we're gonna have in there. I don't think anybody, regardless of the amount of money they donate, should have their name on that monument. And that's what we're gonna work on. We're not gonna have anybody and not any name on that monument. Is that, Mr. Lopez, because we were having issues with your.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and I thank you for that. Yes, no, anybody gives money, the names will have no report about monuments whatsoever.
I think that that's the consensus of everybody. I think that these monuments are for the heroes that
Yes.
served in that operation, like you said, Mr. Gonzalez. And I don't think that that's gonna be an issue, especially if the city of Laredo funds it. If it's donations that are asked, then that issue could come up. But I think that the time belongs to you warriors that served during that time. I don't know that we need to take action, but just for the record, we can.
Okay.
If that's the wishes of this committee,
I think just in support, just that we support, no names on it.
Absolutely.
I'll make that motion.
we have a motion not to allow names on the monument by any donors that donated money to erect this monument. We have a second?
Second.
A second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, nay? The ayes have it. Thank you very much, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Gonzalez, and everybody else involved. Next item on the agenda, we have discussion with possible action on having Gilberto Gonzalez appointed to the primary representative and Ray Sanchez as the alternate representative of the VFW Veterans Group and other matters incident thereto. Well, like I said earlier, this issue is a local issue by a service organization. They decide who is gonna be appointed to this committee. So I don't know that we need to take any action here. I think that the VFW itself have taken that action already. Mr. Gonzalez?
There's a typo. It's Ray Sanchez will be the primary,
Okay,
and I'll be the secondary.
all right, so, we just need to correct that, but I don't know that we need to take action. Like I said, every organization decides who they send to be members to this committee. Unless I'm wrong,
No, that's right.
No, that is correct. It still needs to get approved by city
by
council.
city council, yes.
Just
but
like
We'll
with the
just
Blackwood.
submit the names to city council,
Yes, sir.
all right?
And they still have to be sworn in,
Yes, sir.
Marshal?
Yes,
They
they
need to be
gotta be
sworn
sworn in. Before you're able to vote, and participate in the discussions, you have to be sworn in, both of you, and somebody will, from the city secretary will contact you about when you can get approached, or hear the oath, rather. Thank you very much. At this time, while we're in this subject, I would like to thank the representatives that we had, Mr. Salazar and I think it was Mr. Quijano, and at the same time, Mr. Gomez also that is leaving us, for the time and effort that you have put in the last, 8-10 months. We've done great work. I think this committee has done really good work, starting at the very first meeting with the tiny homes, and I hope that you're still gonna continue with that project. Whoever's doing that, I know Mr. Garza, you, Mr. Quijano, are doing an excellent work. And it's something that we need to continue working with. But at this time, I would like, on behalf of this committee, to thank you for the time and effort that you put in and the real hard work that you did in this time period. And we hope that you continue to come and join us at this meeting.
Absolutely. If I may say a few words.
Sure.
So, good afternoon, Warriors. As you know, I'm no longer the commander of the VFW. I stepped down because got a promotion at work. I'm going back to school to get my master's and a myriad of other things on my plate right now. So I felt it was unfair to continue as commander with the VFW. That's just one more responsibility for me that I just, I had to make that decision. Can I still handle it and handle all my other responsibilities? Negative. It would be unfair for my members, for my comrades, for me to continue. But that's not to say I'm not going to continue coming to these meetings. I'm very much active and proactive in the military community, as you all know. I still put on events. I still work with all of you. So if anybody here needs anything or desires to work together, collaborate on any other event moving forward, just feel free to come talk to me. And yes, I'm still streamlining the Genesis Live project, the tiny home project. So that in itself is just a job and a half, just doing that. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here, and I'm going to continue to come as often as I can. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any further discussion, any comments?
He'll be giving us an update on the tiny homes.
Yes, he will continue coming to the meetings and continue with that project. It's a project that we have grandiose, if I can say that word, I guess I didn't, plans for it.
Yes,
I mean, I know that you all have really worked hard.
Yes, sir.
And it's something that I believe that the warriors of this community can benefit by quite a bit.
I believe we can add that to the next meeting.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
I'll represent my organization, Genesis Light, as the CEO and tiny home community liaison for that. And we have a lot of great updates, trust me, it's good news.
But we're not gonna take any action on this item, but I just want the record to reflect that Mr. Ray Sanchez is gonna be the primary, Mr. Gonzalez the alternate,
Yes, sir.
okay? Next item on the agenda. We have discussion with possible action on adding Webb County Democratic Veterans Group to the Veterans Affairs Committee and having Valentin Ruiz appointed as the primary representative and Maxine Rebeldes as the alternate representative, any matters incident there too. So this item is, and the way I think it works is that the ultimate approval is the mayor.
Yes, sir. That's the way it works. But before we get to the mayor, they will ask, what are the wishes of this committee?
Okay.
So that's why we need to bring it through the committee before we go to the next step. So we need to see what this committee wishes
Yeah.
for.
Okay, so we have this item on the agenda. Any discussion on this item? Comments?
What's the goal of that group?
You need to come
Thank
up.
you.
I just wanted to know what the goal of that group is. Like, what does it focus on?
Up here.
Yeah. I guess the mission statement.
Yeah, the mission.
We don't have a mission statement per se, but this is not to promote anything democratic. But we do have a group of veterans that are in this Democratic Party. I am one of them. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't always vote for Democrats. But we discuss issues that are veteran-related there. And we push for stuff for veterans in the party. So we wanted to start an official group and hope, it's gonna be part of the Webb County Democratic Party, and we wanted to bring those views that we pass amongst ourselves there to this group. We're very active in the community, not only on democratic issues, that we're advocates and we're protectors of our community. And we haven't put up a mission statement or anything like that. So we're new. So we wanted to be a part of this group. If you will honor us by accepting us, we would greatly appreciate it. Any other questions?
Maxine?
Maxine is not here. She is being interviewed right now because she is running for, I think, a district in South Laredo. So she's presently in a podcast.
Well, as we just discussed, Mr. Reese, the ultimate approval comes from the mayor. They'll be doing all the vetting. And it's up to this committee whether we want to continue to grow and add more veterans organization groups to this committee. So with that said, if there's no other discussion or comments, what are the wishes of this committee? Do we continue to grow and add some more members and see what the mayor says? But ultimately, the mayor is going to make the decision.
I move we accept the group.
We have a motion to accept the group. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Do we have discussion?
Yeah, we can have a discussion.
Just, question, there's no mission statement, there's officers, is there any structure on there, as an organization? Mr. Reese? Or is it?
We haven't elected any officers to this group. I brought it up to this veterans group, hey guys, you know, do you want to be a part of this? So we can be an added voice. We have always worked in a lot of community events, and that's just another way of bringing this party, the support of this party, to the veterans side of it. No, we don't have any officers right now. It's just me and Maxine signing up for this deal here. Do we need that? Is that a requirement? We can make it happen. Do we need a mission statement? We can make it happen.
I don't know whether you need it or not, to be very honest, Mr. Reese, because like I said, this committee is the mayor's committee.
Right.
And they have, they vetted all the organizations, and I don't know what the policies for the vetting procedure
Right.
that they have. So I can't answer that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just asking,
Yeah.
just, from what you were saying, I was just kind of wondering, Mr. Reese, like, what's the status of the organization? Was there a mission statement, which you had said no to, and then I asked about the officers?
But we have been active in many community events, and one of the last ones we're active right now is fighting for the JROTC kids. And this committee, or this group of veterans, got all the Webb Dems to back us up, both the Webb County Democratic Party and the Tejano Democratic Party, and we followed the lead of Mr. Roque Vela, and we did a resolution as well, and it got passed. But we are actively involved in the community. And you know, most of the activities are non-bipartisans, but more than anything, we're active in the community. And we just want to be a part of this team. We want to spread the word. And by being advocates, we're not protesters, we're protectors. We protect our community.
How many members do we count with?
I'm sorry?
How many members?
Right now, we're seven that are veterans in the Webb County Democrats. I'm looking forward to go to the other Democratic group and see if they want to join us, you know. But these are people that are active in the community, that, you know, really take part in getting people to sign up to vote, because that's one thing we're doing. And getting people involved to get the vote out. Because sadly in Laredo, and of course the whole state, 45, maybe even, I dare say even 50% of our people don't vote. And that's a sad thing. So we just want to be a part of this organization, if you all let us.
Just keep in mind, sir, if you do come into the committee, we need someone to show up, either you or your alternate, because we've made all our meetings, we've never been short of a quorum, but the bigger the group gets, that just means we expect you or someone to show up. I don't know
Yes, I totally agree. I've heard that people come in and they don't show up. And, you know, that's one reason that I committed myself to this, to come, and the same way with Maxine. But someone will always be present, for sure. That will not be an issue.
Rick had a question.
Another question? Yes, go ahead.
The only, what is it, the Webb County Democratic Veterans, you kind of see Democratic, you see that. Here at the Veterans, we try to be neutral. It's bipartisan. That's what it needs to be, a bipartisan. There can't be, whether I'm Republican or Democrat, it don't matter. I'm not, if you're, Mr. Vela, if you're Republican, I'm not, you know, you're not gonna be coming up Republican. It's a mutual agreement. There's,
Politics.
yes, can't be involved in this. You kind of say, and that's the way I'm seeing it, like politics is gonna come into it.
What we have
as
tried to do,
Democratic, right.
and what we have tried to
that's
do
what-
as this committee is to improve the quality of life of veterans, regardless
Exactly.
of anything else. And
But
that's
not-
number one.
not as a
That's-
party.
That's what we do when we're in service.
Exactly. We're not red or blue, right? We're green. You know, I look to my right, to my buddy, to my left, to my rear, to my front. That's what it's about. This is what this is supposed to be about. Here I've seen Democratic, I'm not, it just doesn't sit well with me. It just doesn't, Mr. Chair.
I fully understand that.
Okay.
A few people brought up that concern when I sent the agenda out, that they were wondering about the Democratic. You're not the only ones.
And that is, with all due respect, that is a fair point. But if you look at the record for veterans, a lot of the policies that have been passed for veterans, the GI Bill, the Hazelwood Act, school for everyone. I mean, I don't have the list in front of me, but I can name 21 issues that have been passed and have benefited veterans from the Democratic Party. But he's right. You know, we're non-bipartisan. I'm just one vote from that group. I'm not gonna sway the whole veterans with just one vote in this group, okay? And like I made it very clear, I don't always vote Democrat, okay? Some people call me liberal, some people call me far-right extremist, and when I was fighting the Proud Boys, and I was one of the very few veterans that was there, here at the border, they even call me a communist, okay? But I'm here for my people foremost, not for the Democratic Party. Thank you.
A ver.
So, quick question real quick. If they get approved or denied, regardless, I know that other veteran organizations that are not veteran groups are able to present whatever issues they have that have been involving veterans. So whether they get approved or denied, let's say they were denied, they would still be able to come up and present any veteran issues that are being, I guess, brought up in their group that affects veterans, right? So I know that they wouldn't be per se in the voting party because they're not bipartisan to vote one way or another within the committee, but would they still be allowed to come and present as a group of veteran organization with an issue that's concerning veterans?
The way that we have been working since we started this organization is, and like I said earlier, our main mission here is to improve the quality of life of veterans in any way that we can. And we've always said that this mic is open to anybody that comes in front of this committee to discuss how we can do that. If it gets out of hand, it gets out of proportion of being able to help the veterans, then we'll cut them off. But the mic is open as far as we've been doing business. Now that can change. The committee runs this committee. I mean, the members that run this committee. But anybody that whether it's a veteran or not, any members of this committee, if you want to come and approach and discuss any item that benefits the veterans, we will hear them. As long as they're civil, as long as they're productive, and it will help the veterans. That's the way we've been working. Can it change? Absolutely, anything can change. And if I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected on how we've been doing business.
Mr. Chair, I have a comment.
Absolutely, Mr. Lopez.
So, I look at the item and I see that it's Democratic, but, so my only concern is this, and it may not really be a concern, but if we allow this Democratic group to come in, are we extending an invite to the Republican Veterans Party or the Libertarian or any other one? What is, other precedent are we going to set if we push the other party, Democratic Party? Are we allowing more, groups, conservative groups to come in?
Well,
My concern.
sure, and I understand what you're saying, Mr. Lopez, and obviously, if we have anybody, whether it's a member of this committee or not, come to this podium and start talking politics and start talking about something that's not gonna benefit the benefits, we're not gonna allow that to happen. This is not what we're for, that's not what we were formed for. We're formed to benefit the lives of veterans and those would-be veterans, if the case may be. If that doesn't fit with our mission statement, then we're not gonna allow it. We haven't done it so far, and I don't think we will. Whoever is in the committee at the time. There's some civilians out there that can come out here with some very good ideas that can help the lives of veterans. And certainly we're gonna listen to them. If we don't do that, then why are we here? Our mission statement is to be able to help veterans. That's the way I see it. I think everybody sees it that way. Will there be somebody to come out here and start talking about something else? We'll just have to turn the mic off and ask them to leave. That's basically it. That's the way I see it. And I'm sure that you have proven throughout the last 10 months or so that that's the way everybody in this committee feels like it. At this point, we have a group that wants to join our committee that we really have we don't have the ultimate say-so whether they join us or not. It's up to the mayor. However, the mayor, according to what we hear, is gonna ask whether we like to have them join us or not. And that's what we're here discussing right now. If this group or anybody else comes in and starts talking business that doesn't concern veterans, we're not gonna allow it to happen. Am I correct or am I wrong? Because this is a veteran issue committee, period.
Do you check what party a member is before they join your group or not?
I'm sorry?
The party, Republican, Democrat, do you guys even check? Anyone that wants to join your group,
They have to be from the Webb County Democratic
they
Party.
have to be Democrats.
That could be an issue.
But let me tell you one thing. This is a Democratic Party, there's a Republican, I'm sure they could start their own group, you know? But,
I cannot hear him on the mic.
I'm sorry. But historically, Republicans, Democrats, liberals, far right, far left, from Laredo, we've joined forces. We joined forces in the no border wall issue. We joined forces, Veterans United Against the Wall. And we won. United, as Democrats, as Republicans. Okay? The Democratic Party, this is a group within the Democratic Party. I have gone to the Republican meetings myself. Republicans have gone to our meetings. But this is the Democratic Party side of it. It's always, we talk about issues and what can we promote, you know, and that's all we're doing, you know. We're just giving a voice, and at the same token, everything that is shared here, I will take it back to the Democratic Party. And I will say, hey, the veterans are doing this. It's a way that we network here as a team working together, not for division. I would gladly share whatever information is given here with the Republican Party. I have friends of mine that are in the young Republican Party. they support me or our group with the JROTC mission. We're not enemies, okay? We are not enemies. Like he said before, this is nonpartisan. We just want to be a part of this group so we can network. And like I said before, historically, the Democratic Party has fought more for the benefits of veterans.
Any further discussion or comments? We have a motion on the floor and we have a second.
What was the motion?
The motion is to recommend to the mayor that we accept the Webb County Democratic Veterans Group to the Veterans Affairs Committee. So this motion, the way I understand it, and Marshall, you can correct me or anybody else, if it passes or doesn't pass, I don't know. I don't really know the mayor's policy on this. It will go to the mayor and the mayor will decide whether they'll join.
Past practice, sir, what happened with the group that was taken off, and then the Black Widows, remember, ma'am, you were there with me? The mayor, we were standing right there, and the mayor and the council members were asking if the members were okay with allowing the Black Widows in, and we did. It was unanimous when it came up to, so that was the wishes that we had, and that's why the mayor, and it was voted, and so that's past practice, so that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
The mayor and city council will not go against our wishes.
Okay.
I'm almost sure they will not, whatever is voted on.
So basically, if this motion does not pass, then the recommendation will not go to the mayor.
We could still put it, or he could still put it, and then they're gonna put me up on the stand and saying, what are the wishes of this committee? And I'm gonna have to say whatever we vote
So
on today.
the application for appointment to this committee has to go to the mayor from the organization, and then they're gonna ask.
For next meeting.
Okay, all right. That clarifies it? We will decide whether we accept this group to join it, and then the mayor will make a decision. Basically, that's it, correct?
Yes, sir.
So there is a motion and a second. All those in favor?
No,
We
sir.
have taken a vote, we're under discussion right now. Okay?
You wanna say a few words, Mr. Contreras?
Yeah, why not? We need to make sure that we have.
I want Mr. Quijano, Mr. Contreras to guide you up.
Ruben Contreras, Commander, Disabled American Veterans 76. I would like to urge the organization to first come out with a mission statement, objectives, because there is a very thin line between becoming a political organization and a nonprofit organization. Remember, we accept them with a political title on it. That brush covers all of us, whether we like it or not, because we accept it. I know everybody's trying to help everybody, but political titles should not come into this committee. I welcome them, but any mention of a political title, I disagree with. It's a very thin line, like I said, and I'd rather not. I'd rather not the committee be painted with the same brush. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Contreras.
Thank you, Mr. Good point.
Any other comments or discussion? Mr. Lopez? Anybody else?
Thank you.
And I say Mr. Lopez because I don't know whether you're here or not, Mr. Lopez, not to point you out specifically.
I'm here.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure that you were here. All right, one more time. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those against, say nay. The nay has it.
Motion fails.
We have, the motion fails,
Mr. Chair,
and yes, go ahead.
I would do it, but, I want the record to reflect that my vote was, no.
Your vote is no? Okay, thank you, sir. Well, the motion did not pass, just for, I don't know whether you heard that or not. The motion did not pass, and with that, I don't know what the next step except would be that you approach the mayor directly to be admitted to this committee.
No, sir, with all due respect, I appreciate that, and we'll decline that. No hard feelings. I mean, we
None whatsoever.
as veterans in this organization are still gonna advocate for veterans.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Thank you
Okay,
very much
thank
for your time. Have a motion to adjourn? Nobody wants to adjourn.
Sanchez over there.
No, say aye.
Contreras and Sanchez.
See, nobody wants to adjourn.
Contreras and Sanchez.
Uh-huh.
Contreras and Sanchez.
So I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. Again, Warriors, thank you very much for being here, and we're looking forward to seeing you next month.